Hey guys, Bill 1911 here. Christian, owner of Apex Shooting Center, 5320 Powerline Road in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, invited us to tour their $20 million state-of-the-art facility. Wow, what a place. Just after you walk through the door, if you turn to the left, you'll see on display one of the three actual Aston Martin stunt cars used in the filming of the James Bond thriller Die Another Day, starring Pierce Broznan as James Bond. A turn to the right, you'll walk straight into the on-site showroom of the bank's safe and lock company. There, you'll meet Judith. She will show you some of the best options and equipment available in firearms storage and protection, as well as any other lockable security needs you may have. New and used safes, safe rentals, licensed locksmiths, vault doors, vault rooms, and much, much more. After looking at safes, it's on to the firearms showroom. Apex Shooting Center has a large selection of handguns and rifles, as well as rental guns. They even have some full auto firearms for the more adventurous among us who want the experience of shooting full auto in a safe and controlled environment. After seeing the showroom, Christian introduced us to his staff of professional instructors who teach a variety of classes, from beginner to advanced courses, as well as law enforcement and tactical courses. Apex Shooting Center has three state-of-the-art HEPA-filtered indoor ranges open to the public, complete with armored partitions between every shooting position. Every room is equipped with first aid and trauma kits. Apex takes every precaution for your safety. Each shooting position has a computer-controlled target that is programmable to your level of proficiency. Targets can be stationary or moving, even timed. Apex features a private members-only gun club and range. Members can access this more luxurious part of the facility 24/7. Amenities include an executive boardroom, a dining room, feature guest speakers, a steam sauna shower, and a lounge. The club also has a fully equipped weight room and a regulation-sized squash court. Gourmet food is available to club members and the public alike. Like I said, wow, what a place.
Hey everybody, Bill 1911 here. I'm here with Christian and Joey. And Joey's one of the instructors here. He teaches some of the classes, and I understand you're very good at it. And this is Christian. Christian is the owner. He's the guy that's responsible for the whole place. And right behind Christian, we have an item of interest. Okay, James Bond 007. Now, they actually have, I understand you have a car here,
Yeah.
the actual Aston Martin?
We have the one, there's one of three, there were three in the movie. Allegedly the one that we have is the one that was shot in the, it's like a hotel ice scene, and it's the one that shoots out of the hotel, and he's driving on the lake, and he's shooting the rockets and the guns on it.
Very
so
cool.
That's the actual Aston Martin, and it does turn on, it works, everything's functional, except for the guns.
But the guns, are there any faux guns on it? Do
Yeah,
they come out of the fenders
there's
there?
two faux guns,
really
and
cool.
there's three missiles.
Oh, that's really cool. Yeah.
So they're props, right? They replace them with props, but
Right.
the Aston Martin itself is intact, and really engine's in there and everything else.
Oh,
So-
that's really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, that, we definitely got to see that
We will.
car.
Yeah, we'll
All right,
check it out.
fantastic.
Cool. So I challenge all my employees to shoot a piece of tape. I do a piece of tape. We shoot at like different distances, 25 yards, and I shoot. I'm ambidextrous, so I'll shoot left-handed against them. They shoot right-handed, and everyone's getting better and better and better. They're like, that's impossible. Now they're hitting a tape at 25 yards. It's cool.
We used to have to shoot. You're gonna love this one. I did black powder competition.
Yeah.
We would take our flintlocks. We could shoot a playing card, not this way.
That's what.
Edge.
Flintlock. That's tough.
You had to take your head, and look like this, and make sure you're on.
Am I actually? Because it plays with you.
Didn't tell it.
Yeah.
It was.
Yeah.
It's tough.
It's tough. Yeah.
I got a couple of them.
Yeah, sometimes when you hit the tape and I'm twisting, and the same thing happens to us. I'm like, is it actually there? Yeah. Yeah, we'll get it eventually. Yeah.
Check out that Aston Martin. That was cool.
So this like I said, one of the very side of the day after the movie. Here's our car for the photos. The entire car is intact.
I'm all for that.
Yeah, maybe too. Yes, that's it. We took the missiles off. The missiles used to be right here, but they replaced it with a plate. Yeah, I think it was something to do with they just weren't staying on steady, so we just put a European plate on there.
Yeah.
And then we have our full guns, and we have the they call it the Bonnet, right? The British.
Yep.
Yep. And it's a little dusty, but it's a right side, right-hand drive car. So it's true overseas.
Yeah. So this is a British-made Aston Martin.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
How did you get a hold of a masterpiece like this?
From the owner of this building. He's one of the largest car collectors in the world, and he has every Bond car ever made, I think, something like that.
Oh, that's
so he donated this for us. We had to cut down all those doors to get it in. So
Wow.
when it got we didn't know what was coming until it came. It was like a surprise gift.
How long has it been here?
We've been open for a year, and it came probably December. So we've had it for almost a year now. I had to literally cut down all the steel to get it through the door. We had a flatbed that
Amazing.
took the top of the stairs, cut off the whole door section, and then we had to weld it back together.
Did you have to take the handrail out too to get it in?
No, it fit in between the two handrails.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And then we just took all this out.
Amazing. Very cool. Very cool.
So it's not good.
Okay, I'm here with Judith, and this is Banks Safe and Lock Company. And so, tell us about your business.
Hi, well, we're located, we have two locations. One is in Miami at 7108 Northwest 72nd Avenue in Miami, just north of the airport. And then we have a large showroom here in the Apex Shooting Center, right here in Fort Lauderdale, Florida.
Okay, we're here in the showroom, okay, of the Banks Safe and Lock Company. Judith she's the lady that will help you with all this, but I'd like you to take a look at their whole selection. They've got these Black Hill safes, okay? And one thing I'd like to say about them, take a look at how hefty these bars are that go through the frame of this door. You're not going to break those. You're not going to cut through them. These things are serious, okay? And all these things have got some pretty serious hardware on them. Even the smaller safes have got some pretty serious doors on them. So when you look at this stuff, if you look around the room, they've got quite an inventory of a whole bunch of different things. So any kind of lockable storage needs you have, they've got it. So do you build safe rooms, like entire rooms that become a safe?
Yes, okay, so we do two different things. One is we sell vault doors, and we also install vault doors. So if you did buy your own vault door somewhere and you have a contract with that built your room, we will install it for you. We do that a lot. And we'll also, if you don't have anybody, we can build you a vault and install the vault.
Well, that's fantastic. If they have any questions, they can reach you here at Apex.
Yes, or they can call Bank Safe and Lock Company at 954-556-0123.
And what's
Do
your
you have
website?
an email address?
Yes,
Or yeah, website.
we have a website. It's banksafeco.com. That's BANKSSAFECO.com.
Okay, so Kristen's going to show us, this is the retail side of the business where these are the guns. This is the nuts and bolts of everything here. So we're going to take a look and see what we've got. What do we got?
Yeah, so we have some of our optics here. Our retail offering is still growing. We're going to grow it extensively. I've already, have an SOT for suppressors, so we'll be doing SBR suppressors. We carry top line stuff, so Radian, Unity Tactical, GBRS, Surefire, Modlight. All of the big newer companies that are either proven or have dominated the marketplace in terms of quality. My main concern is quality of firearms and quality of accessories for those firearms. We're one of the few companies that actually, our holsters are light bearing, so we have light bearing holsters for our guns. A lot of stores wouldn't do that. And we offer a ton of different options for like rifles, for instance, indexers, curved links, backup sights. You have Surefire rifle lights, pressure pads, everything that you would want, for firearms. And then some of the firearms as well that we do is with some custom firearms. Okay. So this is one of 20, for instance, right here. So we'll do custom builds for our clients. This is one of my designs. It was originally Glock 45. It still is a Glock 45. But what we did was we stippled it, we milled it out, and we went sights forward. Sights forward there's a lot of good reasons for sights forward. With a custom, like a black Cerakote Timony trigger. And backup sights as well that already come with it. Suppressor height sights. Night sights are important, so we put some night sights on there as well.
Okay, so do you guys have an on-site gunsmith to where if somebody wants like a Timony trigger, they can get it?
Yeah,
correct?
so light gunsmithing we do here, most likely like armoring. I have a 19 by 20 gunsmith room, very large room, center foot table, and we will do everything up to heavy gunsmithing. If it comes to like a heavy gunsmith, we'll send it out.
Right.
Yeah.
So if you have to do any serious machining and stuff.
I have two partners that I work with that I handle that.
Right.
Yeah, but we'll still handle it basically. We'll like carriage it here, so everything. The client will drop it off here, they'll pick it up here. We'll handle everything else. Yeah.
Okay, so if someone comes in and they're interested in a gun, but they really don't know what they're looking for, how do you help them out with that?
So first off, we got to ask some questions. You know, what is the purpose of what you're looking for, right? So are you looking for self-defense? Or are you looking for home defense? You know, do you plan on carrying in the future? Right, so after we ask these questions, we're going to start, giving guidance based upon the answers that they're giving us, and then we'll go from there.
Well, that's going to narrow down the field of what they're looking for into something that's more manageable.
Yeah, so
When you look at the wall, it can be
anything.
intimidating.
Yeah,
So,
it can be.
Yeah.
It's our job to drill that down.
Right.
And it's our job not to put our opinion into it. It's our job to understand what they need and then focus on what is going to be best for them.
Right.
Yeah.
So if someone comes and they look around and you're looking for something specific and they don't find it here, can you order whatever they want?
Absolutely. I'll get it.
That's
I'll
fantastic.
get it no matter what.
Well, that sounds fantastic. I know sometimes there can be a long wait on them.
It can be.
Do you guys take a deposit on them, or how do you handle that?
That would depend upon the firearm and the client, or what our history is with the client. If it's a larger priced item, $7,000, $8,000, yeah, we're going to take a deposit.
Something like an Atlas or something like that.
Yeah, and we've done that. We've done multiple staccato orders, Atlas, the Sand Viper from Terra Tactical. We've had that. We have one in stock now actually for sale, which is a very hard gun to get.
Yes.
Yeah. So we'll be as flexible as possible, but yeah, we'll take them. So this is a Cobalt Kinetics and collaboration that I did with them. There's only 20 of these out there. It is a custom Cerakote rifle for us with B5 system with a Geisley trigger, and then it has a carbon fiber barrel as well. And this Cerakote job they're only going to do with us for us. And after the 20, that's it. So it comes pretty decked out. You already have ambidextrous 45-degree controls. It is a Cobalt, so it's very handmade, high quality. Yeah. With their proprietary muzzle, but it actually works with like Hux works for suppression. We have an ambidextrous charging handle from Radiant Raptor, and Geisley, like I said, Geisley trigger, which is one of the, to me, it's a predominant combat trigger you could have. Yeah, it's my go-to for triggers.
What caliber is this?
This is 5.56.
And then you got how many of them?
We did only 20.
Well, 19, because I think he's gonna want to buy it.
It's incredibly light if you want to feel the rail with the barrel. So it's incredibly light. You drive that gun and it's very quick.
Yeah, I always.
Yeah, no, you must clear it. Yep. First rule.
When you're dealing with a firearm, when somebody hands it to you, don't assume that they did everything correctly, because it's entirely possible for there to be a round in it. So you want to always check it. Pull it back, look inside the chamber, make sure you don't have a round in the chamber. Okay. And go ahead and check the magazine well. Make sure there's no magazine in it and nothing stray laying around in there that could possibly get picked up. It's always possible. Unlikely? Yes, but always possible. And if the chance isn't zero, then take the precaution and do it right.
And I mean, like the idea of you just clearing it now, but if you hand it to me right now, I would still re-clear it.
Clear it again,
That's
absolutely.
my responsibility. Yep.
Yeah. Okay, Christian, you brought up something about these sidewalls being bulletproof.
Yeah.
And that's really important because people sometimes do stupid things with their gun.
Yeah.
Like that.
So the only safe direction in a gun range is downrange, right?
Right.
But and it's just not just novice new shooters. Sometimes it's experienced shooters, and they just tend to forget.
Yeah.
If the only safe direction is downrange, then we got to keep it downrange. you have to realize on a firing line, you have a bay full of shooters that are to your left and right.
Right.
And not all ranges have ballistic walls. They don't have to.
Right.
But the problem is people tend to break those rules, and they'll put the gun down sideways, and then for some reason they touch the trigger, the gun goes off, you have an ND, and then you have a whole line of shooters that gun's pointing at.
Loading revolvers. A lot of people forget something critical. They're facing downrange, they've got the revolver. So when they go to load it, you turn the revolver like this, and you're pointing right to the guy next to you.
And you're putting rounds in.
And they forget to do this before they start the reloading process.
Yeah.
It happens a lot.
You know what else happens is you know, and this is unbeknownst to the customer, but they'll have a rifle bag, and they'll come into the bay, and instead of looking into the bag first and looking to see which way the rifle's pointing, they'll just take it on out, and it's pointing back down range, not down range. So you got to flip that around. Yeah. It's the little things you got to think about for common courtesy and etiquette and safety.
Right. Right.
So,
you know, shooting other people is not something that I'm particularly tasteful.
Not a cool thing to do.
It's good to avoid that.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
getting shot myself is something even harder to try to avoid.
So if you see on our back wall, this is some of the apparatus we have. We have a large dummy, and then we have barrels. And this is for my move and shoot nights, which are every other Wednesday that I teach. So we have, you know, a VTAC wall, you know, barrels. So we try to inoculate, not inoculate, but raise the heart rate of a shooter so they can understand, you know, shooting under stress, under duress, try to simulate that level of stress. And we do it safely. So I gauge where the level of proficiency of the class is, and then I push them to a safe envelope, right?
Right.
So I look at who my audience is, and then we'll train custom from there.
Right.
Yeah. So, but it's fun. It's all dynamic. We're down bay, downrange, and we'll do low light. We do everything here for that.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
So, I mean, this is really an all-around shooting experience coming here. You've got the guns, you've got the range, you've got a way to test fly a gun out and see if that's going to work for you. I have an issue with very large hands on a not too big a guy, and extremely long thumbs, particularly my left one.
Yeah, I have long thumbs too, but you got longer thumbs than I do.
So you think that's not a big deal, but you stick your hand in the gun and your thumb's sticking forward, and all of a sudden you find your own thumb interfering with the trigger.
Yeah.
So I shoot like this all the time with my thumb sticking out.
Yeah.
Because I don't have much choice.
It's a
I have
challenge.
long thumbs.
Yeah, it's a challenge.
But the point is that everybody's hand is different.
Yep.
And the gun needs to fit you comfortably.
That's so important.
If you're pointing down range and you're constantly having to do this,
You're not going to keep the gun.
you're not going to keep the gun on the target. It's going to become an issue really fast.
So the one thing I mentioned to new shooters, once we define, you know, what their goals are for using the gun, you know, and I set them a set of parameters on what types of guns fit that. Now the best thing to do is what fits your hand best. What do you feel comfortable with? Especially if you're a new shooter. If it's not comfortable for you, then you're not going to keep shooting. You're going to end up stopping.
You're not going to do well.
You're not going to do well at all. Yeah, and you end up not liking it and probably move on.
Right.
So we want you to like it and come back, you know, and get better at that.
Well, that's a good thing. That's a good thing. That's fantastic. I used to be an instructor, and when I would teach, I would say there are two elements to gun fit. One, the gun has to fit your purpose. Two, the gun has to fit you physically.
Absolutely.
For example, a man my size has no business trying to carry a 500 Smith & Wesson Magnum concealed. It's not going to work. So that gun is just not a good gun for that.
Yeah.
On the other side, the Walther PPK is just physically too small for my hands.
Yeah. And like you said, you have large hands, so when people try to buy, you know, especially in South Florida, you see, well, I want the tiniest gun possible because I want to carry concealed, and it is hot down here, but you don't understand your ability to shoot that gun proficiently drastically diminishes, right? And I don't have large hands for a guy, but I try to shoot the largest gun I can fit. I have a developed grip, but I want to be able to control that firearm so I can, you know, get a good shot off.
Exactly. Yep. Hey everybody, Bill 1911 here. Hey listen, if you're watching this video, if you're enjoying it, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, okay? That's really important to us. And make sure you like us, and by all means, come to visit us at askbill1911.com.